What's up, guys? Keith Kalfas. Purposely took Saturday off so I could update all my data entries into QuickBooks and organize my marketing and do all the stuff that you can't do when you first start a business because you're just trying to get money, right? You're just trying to get the bills paid and learn business. But as you get a business off the ground, each next year you increase your level of legitimacy. It's just the nature of business. So anyways, I got a comment on YouTube of a guy. He's freaking out. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your username because I can't pronounce it. But you said you think you really messed up this week because you quoted two houses. It was like a $1 or $2 million home in this big rich area, and you think you way over quoted compared to what all these other landscape companies quoted, and your paranoid, word might get out and you'll get kind of blacklisted from that area. Well, in all respect to you, I've been there, and I'm going to tell you a story. First of all, by your comment, I could tell by the emotion that's tied into your comment that it's probably just an isolated event, and it's mostly all in your head and in your emotions. And here's my story for you. I think this is going to create some value for you. My first or second year in business, I had no idea what I was doing. Great landscaper, knew nothing about quoting and numbers and business and all the hidden expenses a real legitimate company has. So I got hooked up with this home association up in Rochester. It's a nice area in Michigan, nice homes, nice subdivisions. And I got in with the president of this association, and they hired me to do some work. Now, I was just so excited. Oh my God, I got work in a home association, and I'm sprucing up entrances of, this is great. And I wonder why they're hiring me is because they could tell just by my attitude and body language, and they knew that I knew what I was doing, that I was a guy who just got in business, and they could get me for cheap. So I did a whole landscape project for them, and the following year, which would be like my second year in business, they called me in to do an entire landscape project for these entrances, which is like installing boulders and putting in plants everywhere and installing shrubs and trimming trees and just making it beautiful. Flowers everywhere. So I spent, 3-4 days stressing out, running around, biting my nails, mapping and wheeling and measuring out everything, getting all plant list materials, running around to nurseries, doing all my homework and research and data and blah, 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 blah. And I prepared this fully detailed quote with like 4 pages of shit, all detailed with explanations of everything that's going to happen, everything's going to go on. And I send them the quote, man. I'm sitting there biting my nails. Keep listening, this story gets good. I'm sitting with my wife till like 3 in the morning, and I'm on the laptop. Honey, what do you think about this? Do you think this makes sense? Because I don't have anything to go off of, right? When you start a business, and everybody's hush-hush that owns a business, they're not going to sit there and take you by the, here, little Johnny, I'm going to show you how to do everything. And if they did, you wouldn't understand it anyways because you're too emotionally attached to just trying to get money, right? When you get money in the bank and you're running a business, then once you get going, then you can make conscious business professional decisions. It's just you gotta go through this shit. So anyways, I finally pressed the button and I pressed send, and I send the home association the quote, and it was like $6,742.38. And I send it to them. Oh my God, they're gonna think it's too high. Oh my God, they're not gonna hire me. I need this job, I need the money. The home association calls me up. This guy is cool as shit, and he really likes me, and he wants to put money in my pocket. Great guy. He says, the home association has some questions about your quote because there are other landscaping companies bidding for this job as well. I'm like, oh man, my price was too high. My price was too high. Damn it. At $6,700. They said they don't want to hire you, Keith, because they're afraid you don't know what you're doing, because even though you have done work for us before and we know you're good, we're afraid you don't know what you're doing, and we didn't want to hire you. We went with a different company because your price was way too low. I go, too low? What? They said the companies you were competing against. I'm like, come on, man, just tell me what the other companies' numbers are. I'm trying to get a business off the ground. Tell me what the other companies' numbers were, those other landscape companies, so I can find out and learn what I'm doing wrong. The guy liked me a lot. He saw where it's coming from. He goes, all right, You don't want to know what the other company was coming in at? To do the same exact project that we wanted, quoted, same identical project, pretty much same plants and boulders and everything. I go, what was their number? He goes, their number was 17,500 to do the same thing. Then another company came at 15,000, another company came at 13,000, and then the lowest possible company was 11,500. That was the lowest company. And then you, Keith, came in at 6,700. I go, what? What? It made my mind to do a backwards flip. And I felt like I was in, like, the fucking Twilight Zone, because I had done all that research and all that work. And I said, like, that's what business will do to you. It'll blow your mind back so bad that you don't even know. Like, it's a whole new world. And that's what I love about business, is because now you're learning about the real fucking world. Pardon my French, but I cuss in my videos because it really nails the point down. If you got a job and you got a career and you're making money, that's badass. But if you got if someone has a job and they think they're so smart and they know everything, like I said in my other videos, try running a fucking business. Because you want to talk about personal development and learning how the real fucking world works. And I'm talking about this, not saying, hey, I'm the fucking boss man. Because I'm learning this shit too. My price I thought was too high. And the other companies were from 11.5 thousand up to 17,000. And they went with the company that was like 13 to 15,000. I left all that money on the table because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And even today I would come and probably be one of the lower quotes. And here's why. Excuse me. I was making videos after I eat. These other companies, they got a yard, they got dump trucks, they got license insurance, they got payroll taxes, they got workman's compensation, they have 10 plus years of landscape experience, and not landscape experience, business experience under their belt, and they know what they're worth, and they communicate professionalism. There's so much going on behind the scenes of business that you don't see as an employee or somebody just starting a business. You don't see any of that stuff, so you don't understand how these companies would ever charge $17,000 or how the hell anybody would ever pay for that. Well, professional clients who have dealt with contractors and landscapers before, or hired painters or people to build shit or whatever it might be, or roofers, they're experienced as well on the buying end, and they've dealt with the low of the low, and they know that you get what you pay for. They were afraid that this is all about your comment in the form of a story. The point of it, what I'm saying is, man, you're afraid that your price might have been too low. I don't know if you got the other company's numbers, or maybe the client was lying to you, but judging by your comment, you being brand new in business, and the emotional content or context of your comment shows me that there's a very good probability that your price might have just been normal or even too low, and you're thinking your price was way too high and you freaked the customers out. Because I would bet that you weren't adding in all those extra expenses that you don't really know about yet. Or unless you just like did some crazy math and you were charging them like way too much. I don't know, but I'm just guessing from experience. So excuse me, back to what I was saying is, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. The more each next year you grow in business, your prices have to keep going up and up and up and up and up and up, and your prices had to keep going up, because as you learn more about business, you're like, oh shit, I can't even believe I was running my business like that last year. I could never survive running my business like that anymore. That's not even the right way to do it. So you up your game and you start running your business a lot better, and then you learn some more information and you're like, oh shit, how was I even running my business like that? And you just keep up and up and up the ladder of professionalism. And your communication becomes more professional. Your subconscious and sub-communication becomes more professional, your documentation becomes more professional, your business structure, your business sequences, and your business execution becomes more and more professional, and you start attracting and calibrating to more and more professional clients who are willing to pay more because they can sense all that shit because they've been through it. If you hire a guy off Craigslist to come paint your house and he's going to paint it for $50 a room, well, you better expect a bummy guy to come into your house and do a horrible job and get paint all over your floors and do a shitty job. If you are flipping cheap houses in a shitty area, I'm not a real estate guy, I'm just saying I shouldn't even go there. I only talk about stuff I know about, so I take that back. But basically, you get what you pay for. Summed it all up. You get what you pay for. This has been a very long video. I hope you got something out of it. I myself have still a lot to learn, but the more I learn is the more I'm like, wow. So, gotcha. Hope I answer your question that your price probably wasn't even that high at all and you just think it was. All right, later.